good afternoon. Good afternoon, and you're welcome to Zed Décor Live. This is being hosted on Z 101.9 FM. This is your discussion platform, or that platform that gives you all the latest, relevant, important topics that has or that pertains to lifestyle, leisure, and business. On Z, it's an intentional discussion on everything, and for that purpose, um, you're welcome to Zed Décor Live. Zed Décor Live is also that platform, or that intentional discussion, that focuses on everything you need to know that has to do with the built industry in Ghana. Housing or real estate has become very important. Decor, internal or interior furnishing is also a very big and topical issue. So for that reason, this platform is dedicated every Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. Live streamed on Facebook, live on YouTube, intentionally dissecting all the discussions with relevant and knowledgeable experts. To discuss these kind of things, you need expertise. You need people who understand what it is they're going to talk about. Yeah. Anyway, so you're welcome. I've given a very hot intro, but you're welcome. This episode is the prelude to Mother's Day. Mother's Day is on Sunday, and of course, we're not going to be here on Sunday. Other shows will be here, all the way till, next Friday, but Zed Décor Live won't be here on Sunday. So we'll do a bit of discussion on Mother's Day, the importance, and most importantly, the kind of things or gifts you have to give your mother. It might not be this Sunday, you might not be ready with your cash and your whatnot on Sunday, but it will give you an idea, right? Just like how we celebrate the other days, you give you an idea so that at least by the year end, you'd have given your mother something worthwhile. So we'll do a bit of discussion on that. And then we'll touch on luxury. Today's topic is luxury furnishing. So we'll do a bit of discussion on that. All right. So let's do a quick spot of music. I'll be back with my DIY, and then the show will continue. But welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I would say that there's one thing I like about the Zed platform or listening to Zed. You get all the new music, right? All the relevant tunes. So if you just tuned in, what the song just played was um, Kwame Eugene and Jackie. Is it what Stranger? Yeah, so don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger to Zed. Zed is doing so many things, so many amazing things. So don't be a stranger to Zed and to Zed Décor Live as well. So it's time for our DIY segment. And because it's Mother's Day, or we are, how do you call it? We are setting ourselves right for Mother's Day. This DIY is a mini bedroom setup, for your mother, a mini luxury bedroom setup for your mother. I'm not going to put budgets on it, but I always say when you're setting up something for somebody you love, you have to intentionally look at what is in your pockets or what you can afford or what you can do without breaking your bank. Okay, but I mean, it's for your mom. It doesn't have to be one that you be counting your coins. You have to go all out for your mother. We all know how our mothers have gone out for us, or the lady or the woman figures in our lives, what they have done for us. Okay, so we are assuming by this that your mother is coming to visit you, or your mother is coming over. Now, one of the things that you have to look out for is the mattress. The mattress always has to be on point, right? Please, under no circumstance should you let your mother just sleep on the bare mattress. It makes no sense, okay? There always has to be a mattress cover, all right? So please, if you know you want your mother to come and stay with you for a few days while you treat her right, maybe a week or the weekend, and you know very well that your mattress doesn't have a cover or even a blanket, I beg you, in the name of Zed Décor Live, please go and look for a cover so that barrier between the mattress and her skin is totally covered. So please do that. Okay. Then another thing you should also look at is your lights, right? I don't know how old your mother is, or I don't know how well lit the space, I mean the spare bedroom or wherever you're staying is, but whatever it is, if you are used to or you are accustomed to harsh white lighting, please don't do that to her. If she's elderly like my mother is like 74, it's not that bright harsh light on her eyes, and she even wears glasses like me, so it's even worse. So please check your bulbs, check your lights, let there be warm, soft lighting. And if she's somebody who likes to read, then you can have a lamp on the side bed, the side table. That would help her. Maybe she wants to read or do something, then she can do that. But aside that, please, under no circumstance should you leave the lights to be harsh white and just incredibly annoying. It's not good. Your mother wouldn't want to come again, so please don't do that. Okay, you should always have a rest area. It's important that our mothers sit properly, sit in ergonomic chairs that function well. Okay, so one thing you should always do is to always try and have a wing chair. It doesn't have to be the most expensive wing chair out there, but it just has to be one of the most comfortable that you can find, and there are always price ranges. And the good thing about these wing chairs is if your mother leaves and goes back home, that chair you can even move that chair around your own home and even use it yourself. So it's not like it's a wasted cost. It's a good cost that you should incur. So get a wing chair at least, and have a nice comfortable pillow that she can use to prop her back, or have a footstool where if she's seated, she can raise her legs. As our mothers are aging, as they are growing, or even you and I, circulation is important. So once you have the footrest there, is also very, very important. And then I'll end here and we'll do another spot of music. Another important thing that I'll end on is scent. Scent is so important. We should stop what is it? Just leaving cleaning what spaces. You clean your space or you clean your room and it's all smelling like Dettol, smelling like detergent. No, we shouldn't do that. Even if that's what you want to use, when you air the space out after that, you should have a nice scent, a nice vanilla something, a nice, how do you call it? A warm, inviting scent. I use vanilla because it's something that it cuts across, no allergies. So that in particular, you can have that, a nice floral scent, just in candles or in potpourri, and just put in a bowl or just light a candle. Just something that will make the room inviting, These four, as I have mentioned, would definitely make a statement for your mom, and she would come and she'll be so relaxed. And trust me, and if she's very, very strong, she'll cook the most amazing meals that you know her for. Okay, all right. So I'll do a spot of music. We'll come back and we'll start our discussion.
Zed 101.9 FM.
A lot of times that I be with someone pretty like you, yeah, but you know anywhere. Been a couple times that I be with someone special like you, yeah, but you know anywhere. That's why I say please don't go funny on me, don't go funny on me. Please don't go funny on me, don't go funny on me. I feel something for you.
to talk about, we're supposed to talk about luxury furnishing, or the whole idea of luxury furnishing. Well, things didn't go as planned, and you have me, who is your sitting guest anyway. So you might as well have me and enjoy me till next Friday, when we have our guests in. But today we're still going to talk about luxury furnishing. We're going to do it on a different scale, okay? We're going to talk about what I call the real luxury flex, and it's something that I have observed, and I'm sure when I talk about it, you would also take note of that as well. Now, there are certain things or certain spaces in our homes, in our offices, and in our commercial spaces that we leave blank, right? There are reasons why we leave that blank, and those are intentional furnishing tricks or luxury furnishing tricks that every interior designer or interior architect intentionally does to give that illusion of minimalism, that illusion of, oh, look at this artwork, or oh, observe the floor, or oh, observe the view, right? It's an intentional thing that we do. So I'm going to break it down into 3 bits so that when you are, getting your space together for your home, or when you are setting up an office and you don't want to really do high-end interior architect or interior design, but you should get them, because we always know where to get the good deals and the good connects. Or you're putting up a commercial space that you want to, at the end of the day, lease out or rent out to various people, right? And you're looking for a particular kind of client or a particular kind of tenant to move into, you must do these things. All right. So the first thing that we are going to look at is called the negative space. I know the name sounds very negativity, but no. Negative space simply is you don't put anything there. You don't put anything to clash with that particular spot. You don't even dream of even putting anything as little as a pen or a pencil in that particular spot. We call it I can afford to leave it empty space. So if you hear any interior person or interior architect say, this is my I can afford to leave it empty space, that is what they are talking about, okay? Now, sometimes you go into a hotel in Ghana and you realize that there's a whole wall or there's a whole gallery with nothing on it, no painting, no nothing, just paint, right? It is intentional. They just want you to look at a particular thing, and sometimes it is the floor. They have, for those kind of spaces, it is the floor because it has been properly decked out in wood. They have really done a herringbone pattern on the floor. Herringbone pattern is, you see, you have slabs of wood arranged in a particular way, forming a silent H. Yes, the herringbone pattern. You realize that that is what for the entire walkway or the entire gallery, that is what is there, right? So that is a negative spot or a negative floor. Now, you don't need to put anything there. As I said, it doesn't matter if you have your most expensive painting or you have the most expensive rug. Sometimes we feel that, oh, we must put it somewhere for everyone to see that, okay, I have this painting, I have this artwork, I have this chandelier. No. For some of the spaces, you just need to leave it blank so that as you, the person, walks in, or as your clients or as your friends and family walk through that space, they are not attacked with everything, or visually they are not cluttered. Sometimes people just need to walk in and zone in into a very calm space with nothing conflicting, nothing to think about. You just want to just walk through, relax and chill, right? So that is the first spot, which we call the negative space. And it's a thing. If you're somebody who likes to Google a lot or go online a lot, you realize that it is a big thing, negative spaces. Now, another space that is very, very important is the visual rest spaces. which we call our eyes are on vacation. As I said, the first one is called I can afford to leave the space empty. But for this one, we jokingly, or any interior person jokingly calls it my eyes are on vacation, right? Now, if you've been on a holiday, and I think you should, if you haven't been on a holiday, you should try and go on a holiday. You should. It's very important. It's supposed to make you relax. It's supposed to reset your brain. It's supposed to get you back from that tense moment you've had over a period of time. But when you go to a luxury resort, or let me just say a vacation space or whatever it is, you realize that they don't really assault you with color. They don't really clash you with so many things, especially when you go to those which are on the coastal lines. And I'm talking about Ghana because we have a couple around in our beach fronts and coastal areas, right? They give you stretches of cream in terms of color. They give you stretches in terms of sand, in terms of stone, because you see your brain, which is stressed, your brain, which is tired, your brain, which is exhausted, right, is supposed to be as calm or remain calm, right? So that is the whole import of they doing that. It's very intentional. It's not for nothing. Okay, calm is expensive. To be calm or to remain calm when there's so much happening to you in your personal life, in your professional life, in whatever life is doing to you, to remain calm and focused is very, very expensive, and it's premium. So imagine you are in a certain space where everything is just calm. That is what it does to you. Okay. So in that essence, or in that space, you realize that what they normally have is neutrality. So if it's an armchair, it's in a neutral color, a neutral brown, a neutral gray, a neutral blue, a neutral navy. Nothing heavy that will make you overthink and think too much. Okay. Then you have, some of them don't even have pillows. It's just a chair, just there, and just a lamp by it. So I can just sit and just forget about all the stress that you've gone through, right? It's supposed to make you sober. It's supposed to bring you to a certain state of mind, right? So that is what it means when we say visual resting areas, okay? And that is why you see a lot of people travel intentionally to certain spaces for that, because there's no red, there's no purple, there's no green, there's no neon anything attacking anybody. It's just calm and a lot of calm, right? Another thing, which is point 3 here, is what we call the pause points. And if you hear anybody say that time is my status symbol space, that is what we are talking about, right? Don't worry, I'll go over the names, but this one is time is my status symbol space. Okay. Now, what it means is that if you look at any space, any luxury villa, or any home that you consider as, oh my God, this person has a lot of money or has a lot of something, right? What they have done most of the time is everything is just simply placed in certain corners. So certain corners, you have a single chair which is by a window, and they make sure that that window has a great view. It has a great view of maybe their lawn. It has a great view of their car park with lots of nice cars there or it has a great view of their pool, or just has a good view of outdoors, right? And you see there's always a chair which is strategically placed there, and it is there with a plant, a big indoor nice plant, either artificial or like natural. Okay, now what that spot is supposed to do is supposed to give you space and time to pause, because as you are looking out that window, your mind is opening to so many things. You might have been stressed, you might have been tired, you must have been exhausted. When you go and stand there, there's something that catches your eye. You start looking outdoors like, oh, that's a nice green something. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Oh, can I sit here and wait for the sunset to happen? I want to see how the sun will set over the horizon, right? That is what we call time is my status symbol. It's supposed to more or less seize time and hold time for a period, okay? And it also says that I am not rushed, I am curated. Curated is one thing that runs through all the things I have spoken about. Curation is carefully planning to put a chair there, carefully planning to put a plant here, carefully planning to put a particular light for it to shine a particular way, carefully planning to put a sculpture here, carefully planning to put something here. Okay, that is how luxury works. When you rush everything, you put everything together, that is when the furnishing begins to look cheap. That is when it looks like, but this person, I thought he said his painting is worth $50,000, but where he has put it, it looks so ridiculous. It looks like a cheap version of 100 CDs, you know, but for all you know, that painting is very, very expensive, right? So you need to curate these things properly. You need to think about each spot of your home so that you can have the first one, which is the negative space, which is the I can afford to leave it empty. This particular space, I don't want to see anything here. I just want to focus on my floor. I want to focus on my wall. Maybe you have a beautiful mural, and normally when you have nice, eye-catchy, well-done murals, you don't need to put anything anywhere again. So that whoever is walking through, whoever is sitting through, whoever is lying through that space doesn't need a whole lot. Their eye, their focus is just there. So if you curate that space properly, you would be able to have that negative space, which literally translates, I can afford to leave it absolutely empty. Okay, then we are back with the visual rest areas, which I said are your eyes are on vacation. You know, your eyes are tired. You literally want to just sit there, lean back and just sleep. That space is supposed to give you that, okay? And that is really why we end up going for vacations. You hear that, oh, I'm going to Bali, oh, I'm going to Senchi, oh, I'm going to Akosombo, oh, there's this cool spot up north, there's this cool spot up in the western region, oh god, I've heard about this. It's just because they don't have a visual clash of colors, a visual clash of artifacts. It's just very calm, and it's mostly in about 3 simple colors of cream, of sand, and of like a bit of gray where you have the stone artwork and all of that. Okay, now most homes in Ghana get how do you call it, quiet spots. What happens is you always have a space that we dedicate to mommy, where mommy will say, this is my spot, no one should come here. Or your father or your daddy will say that this is my spot, don't come here. When I come back from work, this is my spot. But it doesn't mean that because there's a chair there, or there's a table there, or there's a dedicated space like that, it means that that is what has been done. You know, because we kind of get it confused that, oh, but this spot is my quiet spot, so what am I talking about? It can be your quiet spot where nobody comes, but if we stand in that space visually, the artwork, the lights, everything can be clashing and will be like clashing. Okay, so you having a quiet spot already, or you saying that, oh, but I already have that, doesn't mean that it qualifies to have or to be called as these 3 spots. So please take note on that. Another thing too is that in Ghana we kind of have this thing that if I have a lot of money, or if I have to show luxury, it means I have to put a lot of things together. No, it doesn't work like that. An interior architect or an architect will tell you, those who build homes, they'll tell you that luxury, by its definition, is just curation, certain pieces, certain unique things. You know, it's not a visual overlay or a clash of all sorts of things. You might have so many things, so many expensive things coming in, and you put all of them together and say, oh yeah, everything I've put in is worth $1 million. But at the end of the day, nobody wants to stay there because the room is heavy, everything is clashing, everything looks too much, right? But when we talk about negative spaces, or talk about wealth, let me use wealth here. We're not talking about everything shouting or screaming, look at me, I have arrived, look at me, this is what it is. Okay, it's just one item and you build around it, or one item and you don't build around it, and you make that spot an easy way for people to walk through. Okay, just always remember, as you are designing for yourself, or as you are engaging somebody and you are telling the person, this is how I want my space to look like, always have at the back of your mind that luxury is not loud. Luxury in its true form, in its true sense, it's not loud, right? It has to be confident enough to whisper to people that, oh my God, look at that space, or look at that home. All right, so we'll do another spot of music and we'll be back and we'll continue the discussion. Don't tune off.
Zed 101.9
thing which I want us to look at is, so what actually goes into a quiet space? Because now you know what the space is. Now you have to try and understand, what do you have to put in that space? Okay, so for the negative space, mostly it is empty. As I said, as for the negative space, the whole idea is you're not supposed to put anything there. It's always something that people must see as they walk through, or if they are going to sleep in that space or sit in that space. It's always something that must catch their eye. So it must be the wall, or it can be your floor. But ideally, apart from maybe if it's a walkway, normally you have the negative space as a walkway, a walk-through. It's not really a space that people live in or sleep in. When I say live in, I'm talking about like a living area, or what we normally call a sitting room. So negative spaces normally are not in those spaces. It's just that walkway to a living room, or a walkway to the kitchen, or walkway to a bedroom. So normally hotels like to do that. They just have a whole negative space walking into the different sections of the hotel. Okay, but let's just say that you want to go ahead and, like, you know what, I have a negative space, but I want to put something in just for shaggy reasons. You just have to have a simple thing, and it has to be a one thing. And the first thing that comes to mind, or you should do, is to have statement art. And when I say statement art, it should be statement art. It shouldn't just be any weird drawing that people will just not look at, or it won't make any impact. Curation of a space is all about impact. It's all about what the artwork, what the chair is whispering to you, right? So in this case, you have to put in artwork, or an art piece, and it has to be oversized. This is where the oversized art pieces make sense. This is where, when you look in Architectural Digest, you're like, oh my god, this artwork really is nice. It has to be oversized, and that is what you have to look at. Oversized artwork makes a lot of sense here. So it can be a very large canvas, and we have so many talented artists in Ghana. You don't even have to import anything. You don't have to try and overthink anything. There are so many dedicated, talented Ghanaian artists in Ghana that you can use. Okay, so it has to be a large canvas, and it has to breathe. Except one ehume ejebe wall ne my Eva is not coming. DJ ejebe ayana no painting them, so that when they walk, like, hey, wow, they'll whisper or they'll exclaim. So it has to breathe. If it's not breathing, please don't waste your time. Don't throw the money somewhere, use it for something else. And it has to be statement piece. So let's say a plant. So a beautiful plant, a nice snake plant in a clip. Don't do any, for negative space, don't do fake flowers, don't do faux flowers, right? It has to be a nice, big, oversized, and a potted ceramic something. It has to be something that would, people go like, oh my god, is that interesting? That is what you put in the negative space in terms of plant. Okay, but if it's just for your floor, if it's just about the floor that you still want to emphasize, or you want to highlight, okay, then it has to be a really nice rug. It has to be something in a very beautiful color that will not interfere with the kind of floor pattern, if it's wood or ceramic or whatever you've used to make your floor, that it won't clash plenty. That is why when it's about the floors, we just say leave it. Let the floor talk. Let the floor express itself during night and day, right? So that is what it is, right? But please don't put in pictures. Don't do the stack up 6 pictures, the stack up 7 pictures, stack it all up. No. For negative spaces, it doesn't like those things. So it always has to be an artwork that breathes. Okay. Then if you want to also put in anything as well, think of a single accent chair. Accent chair has to be something that also speaks, something that breathes. Okay, so it has to be a beautiful leather chair. When I say beautiful, I hope you get the imagination. Beautiful. It has to be a nice linen chair, something, a nice boucle fabric, like just something that when the person doesn't even want to sit in it, like, hey, this chair we can't sit inside. That's the expression you want. Yes, we'll sit inside, but like, hey, but it's so nice and so comfortable. You can't just go and put your some old threadbare chair and just leave it there and just no, you can't do that. Please, you don't do that, right? And I'm talking about visually resting areas. It has to be a nice accent chair, very nice, very comfortable, so that when the person sits in, the person goes like, oh wow, this is interesting, right? Then if you want to visually rest somebody's eyes or your eyes, you have to do ceramics. In Ghana, we are so blessed. We are so blessed that we have a lot of people who produce ceramic pots, who can do beautiful artwork, beautiful sculptures with ceramics, right? So either you get them to do something custom for you, or you go and look through, you glance through, you take your time. That's the curation bit, taking your time to look through for something. If you can't find it, then you custom order and they do it for you. So that when it's there, when the person walks in, you yourself, when you walk, because you yourself is for you before others will come and enjoy. So that when you yourself, you walk in, you're like, oh my God, this is so interesting. Okay. So yes, do it that way. And it has to be something or a stone object. We have beautiful, people, you go in certain homes and it's just a stone monument at the entrance, very beautiful. We have stone sculptures in Ghana as well. We have people who make glass sculptures as well. Odumase Krobo, they do a lot of glass sculptures as well. Artwork with beads, glass beads. All these things are part of luxury furnishing, or accents we can use to turn it into luxury furnishing. So go there, travel, go across Ghana when you're looking for something unique. Well, that's why you have to get interior designers, because we do all the legwork, right? But if you want to do the legwork, it's even more beautiful because you get to pick what you want. So go there. I know Odumase has, I know a bit of Nzima. They also do beautiful artwork with sculptures and all of that. Go and explore. So when you place it in that corner, you place it in that spot, everybody goes like, oh my God, this is something unique. This is something interesting, okay? Now, if you want to do something for your pause points, well, left to me alone, like the negative spots, I don't think pause points should have anything. But if you want to put in something, you can put in an entry console. Don't go and look for any big, bulky classroom desk console. Like you're going to sit in a classroom with a wooden desk. No, none of that. It has to see all those thin-legged, thin-width consoles. That is the one that we put in such spaces called the pause points. So you look for something like that. You look for a nice bowl, right? I prefer it to be in wood because wood has a beautiful thing when it ages. The grains and the patina begin to show and it looks very beautiful. So you could just have a nice bowl there to put in your keys, little nothings, or just potpourri. Very nice to also add to your scents. Then you put in your lamp, very nice. And there's a joke that we always say that the bowl that we put on consoles, it means I have arrived, or I have got my life together. That's what we say. If you hear interior designers say that, hey, as for this your bowl, dear, it shows that you have got your life together. That's what it means. We call it rich man syndrome, that you can actually go and find a whole nice wooden bowl or ceramic bowl and just put scents inside, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just an inside joke that designers have. So you can also do that. Get a nice wooden bowl, a nice vase, and just put it there. So when you walk in, like, yes, I have arrived. And all these things is just to make sure that you calm down, you enjoy your space, you don't go and you come home, you change your clothes and you go and stay outdoors because you can't stand your home. But if you do these things for yourself, you almost always be at home, okay? Now, if your pause point is in your bedroom, always try and have your reading corner. You have your chair there, your floor lamp, a small side table. Don't be putting crammed bookshelves inside bedrooms. That thing is another topic I'll talk about, but not today. Don't be putting crammed bookshelves in your bedrooms, right? Don't say that, oh, I don't have a space to put it, so I'm going to put it in my bedroom. Your bedroom is a space you're supposed to rest. It's a space you're supposed to just lie down, close your eyes and sleep. Yes, I admit that we don't have spaces in our homes, but the books or the bookshelf, especially when you know it's going to be a crammed bookshelf with books you don't read, books you don't know what to do with, and going to dump them in your bedroom, that will be the beginning of clutter in your bedroom. So please do not do that, right? If you want to even keep books in your bedroom, it should be maximum of 5 books, maximum. Don't put about 20 books there gathering dust. Don't do that to yourself. You end up depressing yourself in your bedroom, okay? And if it's going to be bedside, same way, in your pause points, always have your lamp and your water, your table by your bedside. So you have a nice slim bedside table that can accommodate these 3, okay? I have a note here that says that please don't tell them not to add shoe racks. Yeah, shoe racks in the bedroom. I have a personal thing of putting shoe racks in the bedroom. I always say, unless the bedroom is very wide, that when you put the shoe rack in the corner, it doesn't visually clutter with the eyes, right? But if you're somebody, the bedroom is not big and it's small, and you put your shoe rack in, and you know very well that you don't keep your shoes well, and there's a smell of sweat and damp socks, please don't put that anywhere near your bedroom. Always find a spot, I don't know where, but find a spot outside the bedroom. Once again, your bedroom is your haven. You're supposed to rest and be calm and relaxed in your bedroom. So don't do that. Okay. All right. Now, before we go, there are some things that you should always note. We call it the Ghana luxury test, and I'm going to run them through. There are normally 3 questions I always ask my clients, and most interior designers and most interior architects would say the same thing. The first one is, whatever I'm going to buy, whatever I'm going to place in the quiet spot, right? Can it survive the harmattan and humidity of Ghana? Whatever you are going to put in your spot, that's the first question. The climate of Accra, the climate of Sunyani, of Tamale, of Hamle, of wherever, would it survive, or would your item survive that? It's called the climate test. Would it survive the harmattan or the humidity? If it will not, don't buy it. Don't worry yourself, because the test for accents, the test for furnishing is 3 months. A painting, a floor rug, a sofa, it is 3 months. If you go and buy something in the name of, oh, it is cheap, name of, oh, it's expensive, oh, it's a good deal, oh, it's a whatever, your timeline is 3 months. If after 3 months the thing begins to shed, it begins to sag, it begins to look awful, you are in trouble, okay? The second question you need to ask yourself, that does it work alone, right? If it needs 4 or 5 or 6 things for it to come together, then it's not going to work in a quiet space. Quiet space are things that, or you place things there that are in single statements, ornamental things, right? So once you have items that need 3 or 4 or 5 things to join, then it becomes a problem, right? Then you should always ask yourself, this thing that I have placed here, would it look good in another space? Will it look good in a hotel? Will it look good in a favorite spot of mine? Will it look good in Akosombo? Will it look good in somewhere at Zena Lodge? Will it look good elsewhere? If it would look good elsewhere, then you are good to go. If it won't, then please do not buy it, right? The bottom line all the time is that quiet spaces are supposed to be the spaces that makes you relax, that make you enjoy the space, that make you want to host and entertain another. Once it's not giving you that energy, once it's not giving you that vibe, do not attempt to do that. And please, for goodness sake, do not put a plastic chair and say this space is quiet. Don't do that. Don't say, oh, now there are nice plastic chairs, or they are nice how do they call it? They are nice design. Don't do that. And I know the kind of plastic chairs I'm talking about. No shade, but no jinyame. Don't go and put DJ. We don't put jinyame chair. Tell me that it's a quiet space. No, it doesn't work like that. Quiet spaces are supposed to have beautiful, functional, timeless, and clean-lined accents. Okay, all right. So thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned a thing or two. I myself, in talking about it, I remembered so many things that I have forgotten when it comes to furnishing quiet spaces. I would see you next week, or you would hear from me next week, Friday, same time, 2 to 3 p.m. Whatever be the case, don't tune off. There are so many shows ahead of us. Highway 1019 is next, and this show will be repeated on Sunday at 5 p.m. So have a good weekend. Enjoy Mother's Day, right? Zed has something with the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, I think, on Sunday in the morning at 10 at the premises of the hospital. So kindly go and learn a thing or two about stillborn births, which is actually a big thing affecting women. All right, so enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you next Friday. Bye. Happy Mother's Day. DJ,
hello CEOs. Ghana's foremost business platform marks 10 years of leadership impact. Join the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo on Thursday, 28th May 2026 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel Accra. The summit is themed Accelerating Ghana's economic